Hey guys, welcome back to Never Tasted Better. Christmas time is almost here, and that for us means birthdays. We have a lot of birthdays around the holidays in our family. My son Junior, he's going to be 5 and he loves dinosaurs. He could tell you which dinosaur is which. He is an expert. He is very well educated on dinosaurs. So I decided to make an easy dinosaur cake. This cake is very simple to make, and yes, I cheated just a little bit. This is how I cheated, guys. I'm going to be using yellow box cake mixes to make this dinosaur cake. I'm going to be making 4 cake layers, so I need 2 boxes of yellow cake mix. And I'm not going to follow the directions on the back of the box. I'm going to substitute my own ingredients, and it's gonna make these cakes taste like they came from a bakery.
Our ingredients include 4 sticks of butter, 8 large eggs, and 2 cups of milk. We're going to empty our dry ingredients into a large bowl. I know this seems like a lot of ingredients, guys, but trust me, we're making 4 cake layers. So add 3 sticks of your butter in. It should be softened. And we're going to mix this as best we can. It's going to be really dry. Once your butter is somewhat mixed in, we're going to add the last stick of butter, and it should be melted and cool to the touch. This is going to bring it all together. Next, we are going to add in our milk slowly as we're mixing. It might get a little messy, but trust me, it's worth it. Add in 2 large eggs at a time. Once they're mixed together, add the next 2 in, so on and so forth until all the eggs are fully incorporated. Grease 4 9-inch cake pans really well, and we're going to fill each one evenly, smooth out the tops of them, and we're going to bake them at 350 for 24 to 29 minutes until they're fully cooked through. Once they are completely cooked through, we're going to set them on some parchment paper and let them cool off completely.
For the frosting, guys, I'm going to be making 2 different kinds of frosting. The first frosting, I'm going to make a deep chocolate ultra-rich frosting. The second frosting is going to be a vanilla buttercream.
Add 1 cup heavy cream to a medium-sized saucepan, 1 cup sugar, bring it to a medium-high heat until it reaches a boil and your sugar is dissolved. Once it reaches a boil, bring it down to a low simmer and simmer for 6 minutes. Pour your heavy cream sugar mixture into a clean glass bowl. Add in 4 ounces unsweetened chocolate. Also, we are going to cut up 1 stick unsalted butter and add that in. Add in 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract, and we're going to whisk this up until all of those butter pieces are completely melted and everything is homogeneous. I love this chocolate frosting because it's ultra rich and it goes great with the yellow cake. Find a larger bowl, fill it with ice water, place your ganache chocolate bowl into that ice water mixture, and we're going to beat this on high for 6 minutes. Sift in 1/2 cup powdered sugar. I try to always sift in my powdered sugar or there will be lumps. We're going to mix this at a high speed for about another 3 minutes. This powdered sugar will help thicken up that ganache, and it really gives it a nice sweet flavor. Scrape down your bowl as needed and continue whipping for the remaining 3 minutes. You could always use some store-bought frosting in place of this, but nothing beats this chocolate frosting, guys. For the vanilla buttercream, add 1 stick unsalted butter at room temperature, cream until light and fluffy. Sift in 2.5 cups powdered sugar. Drizzle in a nice amount of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix it again until light and fluffy and smooth. This is going to be a 3D dinosaur cake, so you're going to need a simple dinosaur template like I have. Print it off online and make sure that it measures about 9 inches round. We're going to cut it out of our top layer. Take your time. The cake is a little soft, so you need to be very careful with this part. Once you're done cutting, pull away those extra pieces, being very gentle making sure you don't rip the cake. If something looks awkward, just carve it off and set aside. Separate your vanilla buttercream into 3 bowls. I'm going to dye the first batch a sky blue, which is going to be used for the main part of the dinosaur. Taking a smaller batch, I'm going to dye this a very light blue. This is going to be used for highlights. Put all of your frosting into piping bags. We're ready to assemble. Go ahead and frost the bottom of the cake tray. This just helps the cake not squirm around as you're frosting. Put on the first layer and put a nice generous layer of chocolate frosting in between the layers. This chocolate frosting was really great to work with. It was very light and fluffy and very smooth, easy to spread. Our last layer, we're going to finish frosting the top, and we're going to start going around the sides, making sure everything is smooth. This is just going to be our crumb coating. Once you're finished with your crumb coating, we're going to stick this in the freezer for 10 minutes. So I was so excited to put my dinosaur on, I forgot to finish frosting the chocolate. So I had to kind of frost around the dinosaur. I didn't want to take the chance of taking the dinosaur off again and it breaking. It ended up working out fine. So I used some leftover chocolate frosting in the fridge that was store-bought for this part. I'm just piping the outline of the dinosaur, and I wanted a darker chocolate frosting so the outline would really stand out. Try to follow the template as best you can, taking your time. I left quite a bit of my vanilla buttercream white for a reason. I needed it for the eggshell. So once you're done piping, go ahead and touch it up with a toothpick and smooth it out with a knife so that way you just make sure it looks neater. I moved on to the rest of the dinosaur's body, and just be careful with this part. Make sure you pipe very carefully in between the outline. I had a bunch of toothpicks standing by so I could touch up as needed. Next, I piped the highlights on the dinosaur's chest. For the tiny places, just put a little bit of frosting and smear it in. Next, I put highlight on the dinosaur's tail, and he needed a little bit of surgery. So I had to cut out a bit around his neck that didn't look right, and also around his hand. To finish up the eye, I added a tiny bit of vanilla buttercream in 2 places to give him a starry-eyed effect. Also, I went around the eye with some vanilla buttercream, using a toothpick to help me with this part. To give it that ultimate 3D look, make sure you pipe around the outer edges of the cake, making sure that the frosting matches where it's supposed to be. Go around with a knife, smoothing it out. Go in between the difficult parts as well. You want to make sure that it looks completed all the way around. This cake tasted delicious and it looks so adorable. My son was overjoyed with his dinosaur cake. The hardest part about decorating a cake is watching it get destroyed afterwards, but it was so worth it. Look at those layers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye!